She says, thoughts on keto. I happen to know that Andra is getting ready to get married. Congratulations on the engagement. So when any of us have a big event coming up, especially a wedding, our tendency is, ooh, I have to do something, some kind of fad diet, something crazy to whip my butt into shape, right? And you guys know, I know Andra knows, and most of you out there know, I am not about the fad diets. So I don't think keto is necessarily a fad diet, but it's a super restrictive diet. For those of you who don't know what keto or the ketogenic diet is, it's basically very, very low carb. It's about 75% of your calories coming from fat, 20% coming from protein, and 5% coming from carbohydrate. So this is very, very, very low carb. The point of doing this is that your body ends up burning fat. Ketones are a byproduct of your body burning fat, and that's why it's called ketosis. Your body's in ketosis because it's running off of ketones instead of running off of glucose, which is sugar. So the idea is that you can lose a lot of weight doing ketosis, that it's going to make you feel great, it's going to help you ditch your sugar cravings and things like that. And so I'm not going to say it's totally for the birds, but let me give you a few thoughts on this. Number one, it's impossible to get enough veggies. It's impossible to get enough veggies if you're eating 5% of your diet as carbohydrates. Maybe, I like to get 8 to 12 fist-sized servings of vegetables. Maybe you could get 8 servings of kale and still stay within your 5% carbohydrates, because even foods like chicken or avocado or something that we don't think of as carbs, they'll have little trace amounts of carbohydrates. So all your carbs add up, and if we're trying, sorry, you're shaking, it's windy. If we're trying to stay to 5% carbohydrates, really the only vegetables you're going to be able to get are dark leafy greens. And even though 8 servings of dark leafy greens per day sounds pretty awesome, it's not the variety that is sustainable. I highly believe that variety of all kinds, getting different colors of vegetables, even getting some fruit if that's good for you, is critical. Each color of vegetables has a different spectrum of antioxidants, of anti-inflammatory agents, of nutrients, and we need that full spectrum. So if you're just limited to like 8 servings of kale per day, and that's the only, Andra just joined, I'm answering your question, so you're going to have to rewind a little bit to see the beginning. But if you're only getting 8 servings of dark leafy greens per day and no other vegetables, you know that that's not my idea of a healthy diet. So point number one is it's impossible to get enough vegetables on a ketogenic diet. Point number two is a positive. There's really great research to show that the ketogenic diet has benefits for epilepsy, for Alzheimer's, even for cancer. So if weight loss is not your primary concern, and if you're trying to deal with one of these chronic conditions, especially some kind of neurological condition, I highly suggest going 0 sugar. And yes, in these specific cases, that does mean I would cut back on fruit as well. I would go really, really low sugar, and I would flood my body with nutrients from greens, dark leafy greens. So if you're dealing with epilepsy, Alzheimer's, something like that, I would, even cancer, I would consider the ketogenic diet for a period of time to help you get through that. If your main goal is to tone up, to feel great, maybe lose some pounds, ditch those sugar cravings, basically, I think that we're all looking for a magic bullet. That's why the diet industry is so huge, right? There are a bajillion books, there are products online, there's all this stuff, because everyone just wants something that's going to make them feel amazing, and that's not going to be hard to do. And people who are proponents of the ketogenic diet, they're out there broadcasting like, it's so easy, all you eat is like a bacon cheeseburger without the bun all day, and you can have all the bacon you want, you can do all this stuff, and they make it sound so glamorous, but really, it's not. It's not glamorous. It's not healthy over the long term. It's not going to make you feel amazing unless you're pairing it with the amount of vegetables that I recommend. So, bottom line, if you're just doing this for basic health and you want to try the ketogenic diet or something similar to it for a couple weeks, I fully support it. The exception is don't stick to the exact ratios. Do very low carb, very low refined carb. this is what most people consider a low carb diet, meaning that they just don't have bread, they don't have crackers, they don't have cookies, maybe they don't even have fruit. I'm okay. I actually believe that you can be a really healthy person without fruit if you're trying to limit sugar that much. I don't think it's necessary, and I personally have a couple servings of fruit per day because I just think, why take away something that I like and that's healthy for me? But I'm cool if you want to take away the fruit, if you want to take away all the refined carbs, that's totally fine with me. Just get in your vegetables. So you would be doing things like eating a whole avocado, a very small portion of chicken, and some leafy greens for lunch, something like that. You need to be sure you're getting plenty of healthy fats, which are avocado oils, flax, coconut, egg yolks, things like that, to make sure your body has enough to burn through. But if you want to try it, go for it. Totally fine with it. Just make sure you get in the veggies.